Yeah, okay, no, the prince. The difference between Christianity and, are you saying him? The difference between Christianity and Buddhism is that in Buddhism, you are taught to deny yourself and deny reality so that you will come closer to God. You go to astral world. Okay? So you have to deny everything, but that is not the true meditation. So you meditate so that you'll be able to deny yourself everything. But the whole idea in Christianity is so that you don't sin. In Buddhism, it's so that you don't sin. But in Christianity, we don't deny ourselves just so that we don't sin. We deny ourselves for the simple reason of discovering love. Not just love for God, but love for people. And actually, to deny myself to know God is only possible if that self-denial will be used to minister to a living human being. Now, the problem we're having in Africa is this. We are people in Africa are trying to deny themselves to love God, bypassing man. That is not going to work. You cannot love God without loving man. So, let's say, for example, you want to deny yourself. You have this your device. Yeah, this is your device. One of the ways for you to deny yourself and discover love is to give this device to somebody, not to me. Because if you give it to me as a pastor, then it means you have an interest. You want me to thank you or to think well about you. But when you give this to somebody that can never, okay, can you come? Yeah. Let's say you give this to her, someone that can never thank you. Give it to her, but not to me, but you give it to her. So if you give it to her, someone that cannot thank you, you are depriving yourself of what you have. So that depriving yourself of what you have, that is self-denial. That is self-denial. Now, it's painful to be able to do that. You know, to deprive what belongs to you is painful. But when you do that, and give it to somebody who doesn't have the opportunity, you are able to think in your mind the state of her lack, where she was, all the needs that she was having. You know, somebody that was having a need that didn't have what you are having, doesn't have the opportunity to have what you have. So by thinking of a lack, you begin to have compassion. You begin to have empathy. You begin to have sympathy. That way you are becoming godlike. When you begin to experience that empathy, that love, that sympathy towards that person, that is making you to know the nature of God, which is love, which is empathy, which is sympathy. That makes you to now come to understand God. That God is a loving God, is an empathic God, is a sympathetic God. So that is how we get to, this is how we get to know God through self-denial. That's just a simple example. Let's say this one example. Let's give another example. You are in a hurry to go somewhere, or you have your own family. But this is a widow, let's say, for example. She's a widow, and for you, it's easier for you to spend your money for your family and assist your family, and give your money to church. But because she's a widow, you are denying yourself, self-denial, some of the things that you could have used for your family, maybe from your pocket or from your money, and you give her some money, you hug her, care for her, you hug her, you take care of her. What is that? You are denying yourself money, denying yourself your time, denying yourself things that you could have used for yourself, egocentrism. You are reducing yourself, denying yourself. What does that mean? Somebody who is crying, who is in need, when you see and have compassion, you see her need. You let her need touch you. You see her deprivation. You let that deprivation minister to your heart. You are becoming like God because your heart The nature of God is arising in you. The compassion of God is coming to you. So that way is making you to understand how God feels towards a needy widow. It makes you to know the nature of God, which is love, which is compassion. That is, so self-denial is an instrument of love. Self-denial is a way to be able to discover the nature of God. And self-denial is a way for us to be able to give that nature of God to another person who is in need. So the whole idea is how to know God. This whole thing is about God. So you don't deny yourself to just make yourself suffer like religion. Deny myself just to impress God. Oh, I'm not eating, I am fasting just to impress God. No, God said, I don't want that kind of fast. The kind of fast is that when you don't want to eat, you are not eating, you are fasting. That money that you are supposed to spend on yourself while you are fasting, go use it to look for the needy. It is not your, I'm not eating, I'm fasting, that's not where the blessing of fasting is. But the blessing of fasting is how you are able to express that self-denial that you are going through. You must express it in the nature of God, through love of God towards somebody else. That is what Isaiah 58 is all about. When you deny yourself food, when you deny yourself in any other way, that self-denial is for you to be able to express the nature of God, which is love, to another person. That is why in Isaiah 58 it says, when you fast, go look for people who are in need. So any kind of self-denial is an opportunity to experience the nature of God, so that that nature of God could later be extended to other people. Okay. For example, let's talk about justice. Let's say that you are a woman, and yesterday we saw a film where a man raped a woman. Horrible stuff, horrible story. But when we started showing that film of how the woman was telling a story, how she was raped, and she forgave the person who raped her, people left the platform. People were it was too bad, it was too difficult for people to watch. So people couldn't watch it. So, but she, by forgiving that person, she has the right to say, I was raped, I was offended. So I have the right to anger or to hatred. But by denying herself the right to hatred, by denying herself the right to anger, is self-denial. But she would then discover the nature of God, which is forgiveness. Because God himself is a forgiving God. So by the time you deny yourself your right, that doesn't mean there should not be justice. There should be justice, but you don't have the right to anger. There should be justice, but you don't have the right to hatred. So she denies herself the right to hatred, forgiving the man. She's discovering the nature of God. But the law must still take its due course. So in that case also, they still went to court. The man was put in prison. Why? So it's not because she didn't forgive. It's so that he will not go and violate other women. It's so that he will not go and rape other people. It's so that he will not be a danger to the society. So the fact that you forgave him, that doesn't mean that he shouldn't still go through all the due process of justice. So today, what we're going through is love, learning love, knowing love, or knowing God, understanding God through self-denial. Knowing love or learning love through self-desire. Learning to love God through self-denial. Learning to love people through self-denial. Learning to walk in love through self-denial. So it's learning to know God through self-denial, understanding God, learning to understand God through self-denial, and learning to love people and understand people through self-denial. Now, I want us to go and look at a video here. Let's do the video. Yeah, let's do the video. Thank you, guys. Let's do the video, and after the video, I'm going to show you, explain to you some more things. But let's go ahead and have a look at this video here.